Guys, so I've been getting a lot of questions about only making about 25-30 pounds of boost with the 351s with my Banshee II controllers. After talking to quite a few of you guys told me you weren't really using the brake adjustment. Everyone's pretty much leaving it to the right, as well as the max boost. So what I did is I changed the brake, so you can no longer vary it. When you press the brake, it's going to go 100% brake. That's where most of you guys are having it anyway, so having the adjustment really, it's kind of a cool concept, but people weren't using it really. It was like an unneeded necessity. So what it is, I changed that. So now what this does is it limits the amount of actuation. So if you look at the turbo, so if I have it all the way to the right and I build pressure, it's going to limit the amount of travel, so as you guys can see. And that's with the brake adjustment all the way to the right. Now if I turn this all the way to the left, it's going to give you back full control. So what this is going to do is it's linear from basically 100% travel to roughly, I'd say about 60%, give or take, the amount of travel that you're actually going to get with this knob. And what that's going to do is it's actually going to allow you to build more pressure. The turbos actually have kind of like a wastegated, it's not really wastegate, but it's kind of like a wastegate function. Once the housing gets to a certain point, it's actually blowing off a lot of the excess pressure in an attempt to keep the boost down or drive pressure down, kind of like a wastegate. So it's not like a true wastegate, but it acts similar to a wastegate. But what this is going to do is it's going to kind of limit your ability to get to that wastegated area. I would assume this is probably right around 16 centimeters. There's no real way of knowing exactly where it's at because the way it's designed. But I'd say it's about 16 centimeters, give or take. Now your middle knob, the max drive pressure, max boost pressure, this is still the same. So what this is going to do is it's varying the amount of pressure, which I'm using like this little cheesy rigged pot to simulate a pressure sensor. It's going to limit the amount of pressure you're going to need to get to that full actuation. So like right now I have it set at max. So I have it at 20 pounds. And it doesn't take much to get there. Or if I turn it all the way to 50, it's going to use the full sensor to get there. So it takes a lot more data. So this is still the same. What this is going to do is going to basically, you can hold on to that pressure a lot more. So if you have it all the way to the right, say it's 16 centimeters, you have this all the way to 50, and then it's going to take 50 pounds of boost to go from your starting position right around 9 centimeters to roughly 16 centimeters, give or take. So it's going to slow it down. What this is actually doing is, if you have it all the way to the left, it uses 40% of whatever sensor value you put in there. If you have it all the way to the right, it's going to use 100% of that sensor value. So for me, since I supply 50-pound pressure sensors, it's 50 psi all the way to the right and 20 psi all the way to the left. If you go with a 100-pound pressure sensor, it's 100 pounds, 40 pounds. So just keep that in mind. It's 40%, 100%. Now your drive pressure, this gives you full manual control. Now it doesn't matter where you have this knob, because the drive pressure takes priority. So it's whatever value is higher. So with this all the way to the right, it's limiting the amount of information that it's going to sense. So you're sitting here. Now if you're cruising and you have a lot of pressure and you're going through Kansas or somewhere where it's nice and flat, all you have to do is just keep turning this until it gets there. And then once you get there, then it's going to take over. But once you go back, if you're still making a bunch of pressure, it's only going to go as far down as where the pressure sensor is at. But this is the new programming. It's basically, if you haven't bought one from me, you have the option of either getting this new programming. Sadly, it's still going to say brake on the remotes because that's how they're manufactured. It's going to be like that for a while until I get a new batch of them made up. but you can easily just get some black marker, cover that up, whatever. It's not that big of a deal. Or if you want, then I can give you the old program, which then limits you right around 25-30 pounds of boost. You can get up to 45, but you need a lot of fuel, a lot of heat. So this is going, if you have a lot of pressure now, this is going to fix that where you're not blowing as much like black smoke. So this is going to help a lot with fuel economy. But yeah, so if you don't have one, you can have the option of the new programming, or you can have the old programming. The old programming gives you the exhaust brake adjustment. You still have the exhaust brake, you just don't have the adjustment with the new one. I just don't have enough inputs on my controller. Just let me know when you guys make the order which one you want. It doesn't make a difference to me. It takes just a matter of time to program any one of the two. But if you already have one of my controllers and you want to switch to this new program, that's not that big of a deal. All you got to do is just give me a call, send me an email, mail your old one back to me, and then just pay for the shipping back to you, and then I can upgrade you with the new software. If you have any questions, just hit me up. Thanks.